Welcome to Arks. Welcome to Arks. You've picked a fine day for it. Seems the Magisters have been dicing with dark magic. You'd have them to thank if there were any left. Many fled. Those who didn't died or ended up in a cell.
She looks at you derisively and spits on the ground, close enough to your boot to make her point.
If she is, Lord Kem will want to know. Kem commands the city now. On Lucian's day, you'd better believe it. City's a bit of a mess, it's fair to say, but the worst has passed. We'll have the place cleaned up in no time. Between the Voidwoken and the arrest of the Magisters, we've seen more than a few casualties, but the city herself is intact. We'll mourn our dead and rebuild. Arks persists. Stay safe. Welcome to Arks.
Nods. Nods. Nods.
Welcome to Arks.
The spirit laughs. A terrible, cynical guffaw that says that the world is an evil place where no one is safe. But inside the laughter, there's shame. The Magister knows that he sinned, and suspects that his death was deserved. He laughs all the louder, trying to drown out the shame. The sickening hilarity of the life he has lost consumes him. But as he faces oblivion, the laughter turns into a scream. And then stops as he's cleansed of his sins.
Welcome to Arks.
Welcome to Arks, stranger. Our apologies for the mess. We'll have it cleaned up directly. Try to be careful where you tread. With the Magisters gone, this will be the end of the Voidwoken attacks, I hope. When a sorcerer uses Source, the Voidwoken come, so they say. But the Magisters have been dealing in darker magic. The Voidwoken came, bigger and more deadly. Take care, friend.
Welcome to Arks, and a very happy Lucian's Day to you. Don't let the Voidwoken worry you. We have the situation well in hand.
This would never have happened under Lucian, at least not to us.
This might be something.
Look, about the Divinity we've chased halfway across the goddamn world. Entrusted to one person, I don't think it's a force for good. The gods themselves were corrupt, and even Lucian could fare no better than them. Not to mention his son, Alexander, who the world's better off without. Even if you thought him worth sparing. Driven by fear, he took his father's power and used it to turn innocent sorcerers to silent monks in Fort Joy. And now here we are, like moths to a flame, not understanding that the fire will consume us. You know, when our journey started, I was a man without a purpose. I lost it in the death fog. But now, after everything we've been through together, I say we end Divinity. I say we extinguish the flame and forget about a new divine ascending. No one person should have that power. Rivellon has suffered enough. Let's share the power with everyone. And then, let's all fight the void together. If the divine can take power, the divine must also be able to give power away. I don't know quite how just yet. But then, I'm not the divine. Yet. So what'll it be? Are you with me? Well, there's still time. But don't wait too long. Time has a habit of running out.
Hold here, Arks. I need a moment with our friend. Shield, we are about to enter the belly of the beast. To cross a threshold past which there may be no hope of return. There's every chance the servants of the Great Acorn will skin you alive, frying your bones and boiling your eyes. You could suffer most terrible. I am getting to the point, Quercus. The point is, the path ahead is dangerous. I have watched you defeat monsters, villains, and a surprising number of inanimate objects. But I do not know what lies ahead. But the Great Acorn is almost here. I can feel it in my fur. The forces of evil will throw everything they have against us, but I need more time to finish my research. You have been a good shield, and an excellent friend. Quercus and I both believe you can buy us the time we need. I know you. The world might be filled with murderous giants, but at least some of them are worth saving. Now, it will take more than Quercus's ferocity and my wit if you're going to survive. You need power, and I think I have just the thing. After our last little escapade with your void woman, I examined the corpses you left behind. They were imbued with dark power. I believe Quercus believes, and I concur, that this magic can be used for light as well as darkness. Here, try this.
The squirrel lays his hand on you, and a strange feeling ripples through your body. A sense of power. Your mind opens to the possibilities of new magic.
Now, how do you think it feels, Quercus? Of course you do. What greater power could there be than knowledge? Granted, the recipe you know could be a little darker than what you used to. It would harness the power of those that you've defeated. Grim. But if you need proof that grim arts can lead to marvelous things, you need only look at Arks. Now you have all the power you need. You were a wonderful shield as we fled, but we are not running anymore. Now you must become the Axe. Go, my friend, and lay waste to the forces of the Acorn. Hack them to pieces, snap their spines, and burn their eyes, and Quercus.
The paladin hocks a gob of spittle onto the burning corpses of silent monks. The saliva sizzles momentarily and is gone.
The silent bastards burn well, 'tis true. That they were. We don't burn friends in the street, nor enemies for that matter. But these things.
Once more, she spits on the burning corpses. The paladin wistfully hums a tune. You recognize the air. Smoke gets in your hair. He stops humming, gives you a sideways look. He rolls his eyes and turns back to the flames.
That was Rosewood's favorite song, and Rosewood's dead. You didn't know Rosewood. Leave his favorite song alone. Rosewood's dead. And these are the monsters that did it. Don't be sorry on my behalf. Be sorry for Rosewood and his wife. He was a good man, and she'll feel his loss. It'll haunt her for the rest of her days. We'll mourn him as we mourn all our own.
If we're not careful, we'll burn the world.
The spirit burns with rage at the carnage wrought on Arks. Rage for the Voidwoken, rage for the Magisters, and rage too for himself and his fellow paladins for failing to see the danger until it was too late. The spirit turns his rage upon you, and as you tear his source away, his rage turns into hate. A hate for you and for all the world, and then the hate is gone. The statue looms over Arks, hands reaching as if trying to claw above the charnel stench. Though her eyes are blinded to the horrors at her feet, a single tear drips onto your face from beneath her blindfold. The tear is ice cold on your fingertips. You watch, but she cries no more.
What's this? I found something.
You've got some bite in you, and I've got what you need.
The spirit of an older man observes the nearby painter. He tut-tuts to himself.
That poor boy is wasting his time, walking upon well-trodden paths. I thought I raised him better than that. Did you tell him what you thought of his little picture? A budding painter, a journeyman, if you will. I'm afraid I poisoned the well for the poor lad. He had to grow up in the shadow of I, the finest painter Arks has ever seen. I blame myself. I should never have encouraged him as a child. He could have grown up to be a merchant or a dentist, not embarrassing himself like this. Are you simple? Why, I painted The Sacrifice of Lucian, the greatest series of paintings to ever come out of Arks. They are part of a private collection now, Lord Kem's. Perhaps he'll grant you a viewing, but I doubt it. There's a reproduction on display at the cathedral. Not the same as viewing the original, of course, but it gives the great unwashed something to pray for.
The sewer's running as red as the street.
A young man works at a canvas, mounted on an easel. Smears of what must be red paint are evident on his hands and clothing. He's oblivious, in a daze as he paints.
I didn't just see it, I witnessed it. Now I must preserve it upon canvas for the generations to come.
He nods, a faraway expression on his face.
The great schism of the Divine Order and the ruination of Arks. This will be my masterpiece. I usually only display completed works, but, well, this painting's raw power is already plain to see. Here, feast your eyes.
He gestures to the canvas. It's completely covered in the same shade of red, layer after layer. It's sodden, dripping onto the cobbles.
You're a dying breed around here, my friend. Nobody has time for art these days. Not shocked, no. Perhaps a little light-headed.
He tugs back the sleeve of his tunic to reveal a blood-soaked cloth bandage around his wrist.
It was my father's technique. He was the finest painter of his generation, and he used his own blood for his masterwork. The final panel of The Sacrifice of Lucian. He was also quite the sorcerer. Magic-infused blood can be used to produce the most vivid effects, if you're skilled enough. Self-preservation is a petty concern. I must put the spiritual above the corporeal. I must finish. For the most part. A copy can be seen at the Great Cathedral here in Arks. I visit frequently for inspiration. But the original panel, the one that my father used his blood to depict Lucian's final sacrifice, was given to Lord Kem a long time ago. He keeps it locked away somewhere in that mansion of his. A masterpiece like that should be on public display for all to see.
She nods a greeting, turns away.
Last time I checked. Bodies in the streets. This place isn't clean anymore.
She nods a greeting, turns away.
I don't trust those paladins an inch. They don't give a damn about common folk.
I hope the Magisters return soon.
You're not another bloody pilgrim, are you? The city's swarming with those tight-fisted bumpkins as it is.
You're confident. I'll give you that.
Hear ye, hear ye! Suspect in Alexander murder found dead in Driftwood. Hear ye, hear ye! Magisters routed. Lord Kem's paladins back in charge. Hear ye, hear ye! Void-woken attacks increase. Citizens warned to be alert. Hear ye, hear ye! Kraken sighted at sea. Several ships missing. Hear ye, hear ye! Magisters colluded with Black Ring. Paladin, hear ye, hear ye! Queen Justinia confronts rebel factions. Dwarven Royal stands tall. Hear ye, hear ye! Paladins promise the Good Counsel School will reopen soon. People respond, no hurry! Hear ye, hear ye! Stranger threatens kid, town crier unhappy.
She sticks her tongue out at you, then gets back to work.
Hear ye, hear ye! Trouble brewing in the ancient empire. Dallas strengthens border defences. Hear ye, hear ye! Lucian's day arrives. Hopeful pilgrims take the path of blood. Not if you're without sin, it isn't. Hear ye, hear ye! Dwarven wedding interrupted by Voidwoken. Brave dwarves party on. Hear ye, hear ye! Cranley Hubert publishes latest edition. New book already out of date. Hear ye, hear ye! That's all the news that's fit to shout.
In the streets. This place isn't free, not anymore.
Don't be shy.
Give me the sword. Steel will be sweeter than licking your boots.
Please, you've got to help me. My wife, they want to kill her. She didn't do anything wrong. She was just trying to save lives, but no one will listen. You have to help. Please.
Anything you need to get off your chest? You can whisper, I won't tell.
You will see justice in this world and the next.
Lucian's love. Thank you, but please, you have to hurry. Go!
In Lucian's holy name, we gather here today.
You approach, but the paladin's icy blue eyes never move from his prisoner.
You are interrupting a paladin court, stranger.
You can call this a court until the end of days, Kem. It's still a disgrace.
The prisoner will be silent. We are beyond accusations. This once paladin is guilty of refusing orders and protecting supporters of the Black Ring.
They were boys. Local boys that signed up for steady pay in a slick uniform. A couple of white traitors doesn't mean every Magister is in league with the Ring.
At best, you are a coward. At worst, you are a traitor. In either case, the sentence is death.
His icy eyes focus on you for the first time, pinning you with a freezing look.
Step aside, stranger. I see. You have my thanks for that. You did us a great service. Now, if you would do me one service more, stand aside. A seeker? How do you... This is unforeseen. Very well. Perhaps we would be wiser to wait. She shall not die today.
The paladin looks at you as Kem turns away and silently mouths thank you.
Find a cell for her. And the rest of you have your duties. Move!
Where would I hide something?
Still can't believe the Magisters were in cahoots with the Black Ring. But with the Reds slain and the Whites ousted, maybe now we can restore the Divine Order to its former glory. It might be if you quit preoccupying me. If Kem says we'll find something, then we'll find something, and that's that.
Do to us if they heard you going on like that.
Oh, by the Divine, thank you. I'll never forget this kindness.
The Magisters say. Not much bloody order in this place.
For the safety of Riverlight, report all sorcerers to the nearest Magister.
Didn't even let them surrender.
For the safety of Riverlight, report all sorcerers to the nearest Magister.
Paladins would do to us if they heard you going on like that.
Arks is still a free city, last time I checked.
If there was anything important here, the Whites must have...
If there was anything important here, the Whites must have surely taken it.
Where would I hide something I didn't want found?
Writs, chitties, useless mundan. Find me something solid on the Whites.
For all the fighting, I never once saw Dallas with the Magisters. The snake is probably cowering in some burrow. Lord Kem's gotten reports that she's somewhere near. As for exactly where, well, I guess they're still searching.
Barracks was meant to be surrounded. How did they slip by? see some results soon. Treachery and collusion. I'll have Raymond's head for this. It was you who sent us the War Owl. Without you, the Black Ring-loving Magisters would still be in charge. I suppose you have earned the right to involve yourself in Paladin business. Just this once. All this is thanks to you, you know. If we hadn't found out what the Whites were doing in the Black Pits, we wouldn't have known that they had to be stopped. I am in your debt. The Lord Dread lies in the harbor, but the hammer isn't aboard. Nor is she among the piles of Magister bodies. Should you hear anything, you are of course welcome to bring it to me. But rest assured, your help is not needed. My paladins will find her, and she will face divine justice. I do not need luck. I have divine truth on my side. If the conspiracy with the Black Ring extends as high as the Hammer herself, she shall pay the price. I promise you that. She disobeyed orders. She knew the consequences. I expect she shall receive justice. The Whites have betrayed the memory of Lucian in the most heinous manner. We've had our suspicions, but you provided us with proof. Collusion with the Black Ring. So we acted to put a stop to their treason. The Order must persist. The Order must endure. The Magisters can no longer have power. Enjoy the city, won't you? Arks is wonderful at this time of year. It was you who sent us the War Owl. Without you, the Black Ring-loving Magisters would still be in charge. I suppose you have earned the right to involve yourself in Paladin business. Just this once. All this is thanks to you, you know. If we hadn't found out what the Whites were doing in the Black Pits, we wouldn't have known that they had to be stopped. I am in your... The Lord Dread lies in the harbor, but the hammer isn't aboard. Nor is she among the piles of Magister bodies. Should you hear anything, you are of course welcome to bring it to me. But rest assured, your help is not needed. My paladins will find her, and she will face divine justice. Very well. We know that Dallas and the Whites conducted their heresy from these barracks. If they were all working for the Black Ring, and I believe they were, there must be some sign of it in this building, perhaps even a safe house. We don't have much yet, but we will tear down every brick until we find their wretched hiding hole, and then we'll haul Dallas into the light. Not much, at least not yet. Perhaps you'd have better luck, given your credentials. The White Magisters were in these barracks when the fighting began, an entire cabal of them. If we find them, we will find Dallas, I have no doubt. They must have left some clue as they ran. Something that will lead us to their secret little den. Find it! Who can truly know a diseased mind? She is rotten to the core. That I am sure of. Although much as I despise the creature, I have never known her to be a coward. She fought well in battles against the Black Ring. Wherever she's hiding, she will not go quietly. I pray it helps. Voidwoken at one gate and the Black Ring at the other. We need to stop this madness. Do you need anything more? And? What of it? Be quick. I've other matters at hand. She disobeyed orders. She knew the consequences. I expect she shall receive justice. The Whites have betrayed the memory of Lucian in the most heinous manner. We've had our suspicions, but you provided us with proof. Collusion with the Black Ring. So we act. The Order must persist. The Order must endure. The Magisters can no longer have power. Enjoy the city, won't you? Arks is wonderful at this time of year.